Welcome to Sculpture Studios. For this project, a client came to us and asked us to create moulds for 2 garden ornaments. Unless you have items programmed into computers and machine cut nowadays, moulding and casting is generally the quickest and easiest method to achieve accurate replications of sculptures like these. In order to create a replica, however, there are steps that need to be taken to ensure you have a mould that's detailed enough and durable enough for the amount of cast you intend to make from it. For this garden gnome, Aden has mapped out the best method to create a mould worthy of a multiple production run. In order to capture the detail of the gnome, silicone rubber is going to be used, but due to the nature of the material, it's likely to sag and bend and find its own shape, so a hard exterior shell needs to be created first. For the purpose of this video and following the process, it's best to imagine that this clay we're putting on is our temporary rubber that we'll add the hard shell onto. These tabs will help locate the rubber in its fiberglass jacket that we're about to create for it. The solid wall of clay that's been put around the edge will act as an exterior tab that will also help locate it and keep it in place. As resin doesn't like water or water in any materials like clay, we've protected the clay with a PVA layer. This, whilst allowing the resin to go off, will double up as a release agent to help remove the clay later. The mould's made up of several pieces so it can be taken apart and the cast can be easily extracted, and all the sides are being cleaned up so it fits nicely together with no gaps. Exactly the same process is being carried out with this dog ornament. A clay layer is being added to act as a temporary thickness of rubber. The clay's added and then smoothened down, so the fiberglass has a nice smooth surface to be applied onto. Once again, the clay has a thick base wall at the bottom and exterior tabs to help locate it in the jacket. We go on with quite a few layers of glass fibre, so the mould can withstand the movement and prizing open to get the cast out, and it can be bolted back together and go through this process many times. Here, Aden is adding an initial layer of silicone rubber and is applying it straight onto the sculpture using a brush. This ensures all the detail is gotten into and is all captured, and that no air pockets will form. When the fiberglass jackets are set, bolt holes are added so that they can all be put back together and pulled snug. At the top of each mould, clay was added so that a funnel would be formed when the glass fibre is wrapped around it. All the internal clay is then removed and all the interiors of the moulds are cleaned up. The jackets are then bolted back together and placed over the sculpture with its thin layer of rubber already on it, and silicone is poured through the funnel at the top. The silicone pours down and fills the void between the jacket and the sculpture where the clay originally was, and here it is after it's set, with the jackets now removed. We add wooden legs to the fiberglass shell that will allow the mould to sit upside down, and plaster or concrete or whatever casting material is going to be used can then be poured in from underneath. We invite the client down to the studio for a good old cup of English tea, and Aden talks her through the durability of the moulds, the processes we took, and discuss the processes the client might take when casting. Aden demonstrates how the tabs fit into the fiberglass, and the solid wall of clay, now silicone, sits around the edge and holds it all in place. When the material is poured in, the excess can easily be removed from the smooth top surface. It's always nice for us to get a client's input and a reaction at the end of the whole process, and to know that they're happy with the work we've done for them. We'd like to thank Fiona here for the project she entrusted us with, as well as giving her the originals back intact, and hope that the moulds do the sculptures justice. Please feel free to leave any comments below as they're always appreciated, and hit the subscribe button for our latest videos. You can like Sculpture Studios on Facebook, and for more of our work, visit sculpturestudios.co.uk. Thank you very much for watching.